Across time, certain warriors have left a deeper footprint on the sands of history. While their methods, armors, and weapons varied greatly, they all possessed an indomitable spirit and the will to fight that etched their names in history books. This video unveils the deadliest and most feared soldiers from diverse epochs and cultures. Number 1. Spartan hoplites of ancient Greece. The city-state of Sparta in ancient Greece was renowned for producing some of the finest soldiers the world has ever seen, the Spartan hoplites. Born into a society that worshipped strength and valor, a Spartan's life was intricately interwoven with the art of warfare. The agoge, Sparta's rigorous education and training regimen, was mandatory for every male Spartan. It started when they were only 7 years old and continued into their early 20s, transforming them into disciplined, hardened warriors. This training was not only physical, but also mental, as the young warriors were exposed to hardships like scarcity of food and harsh living conditions to inculcate resilience, self-reliance, and toughness. Spartan hoplites fought in a tightly packed formation called the phalanx, each soldier armored with a long spear, a short sword, and a round bronze shield. The phalanx was virtually impenetrable, a moving wall of bronze that could withstand the enemy's onslaught and then strike back with lethal force. This battle formation was the heart of Spartan military strategy, and its effectiveness was proven in numerous battles. Their military prowess was famously demonstrated in the Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BC, where King Leonidas and his 300 Spartan hoplites, along with allies, held back the massive Persian army led by King Xerxes I for 3 days. Despite being overwhelmingly outnumbered, the Spartans' valiant stand has become a symbol of courage against overwhelming odds. Spartan hoplites were also notorious for their strict adherence to the military code. The Spartan motto, "With it or on it," reflected their devotion to the cause. The shield, critical for the phalanx's success, was either to be brought back from battle with the soldier, or the soldier was to be carried back home dead on it. To lose the shield in battle was a disgrace worse than death for a Spartan. The severity of the Spartans' martial discipline and their superior fighting skills had an immense psychological impact on their enemies. Many opponents were defeated mentally before the physical clash. The very word Spartan came to represent fearlessness, discipline, and military skill. Spartan hoplites were indeed one of the deadliest warriors in history. Their impact was such that even today, over 2 millennia later, their name still conjures up images of unparalleled bravery and martial prowess. Number 2. Persian Immortals. The Immortals, an elite force of the Persian Empire, have cemented their place in history as some of the most feared warriors. Known as the Amartaka in Old Persian, meaning immortal, they were the standing army of the Achaemenid Empire, serving as the emperor's personal guard and key infantry during times of war. The Immortals were an elite group of exactly 10,000 men at all times. The number remained constant. Whenever a soldier was killed or seriously injured, another one was promptly assigned to his position, thus maintaining the illusion of immortality. This psychological aspect played a role in intimidating enemies, which was a strategic advantage in warfare. Hand-picked for their skills, physical stature, and loyalty, the Immortals underwent rigorous training to sharpen their abilities. Every Immortal was a multilingual and versatile soldier who could handle a range of weapons and ride horses, making them a mobile and flexible force on the battlefield. The Immortals were heavily armed. They wielded an assortment of weapons such as short spears, swords, and bows. In addition to their offensive capabilities, their defenses included wicker shields and scale armor, offering protection and mobility. This wide array of weapons and armor enhanced their versatility and made them capable of tackling various battle situations. The prowess of the Immortals was exemplified in various Persian conquests. They were instrumental in King Cyrus the Great's establishment of the Persian Empire, which became one of the largest empires in history. The Immortals played significant roles in battles against Babylon, Lydia, and the Massagetai, furthering the empire's boundaries. One of the most renowned incidents involving the Immortals was the Battle of Thermopylae. Here, they faced the Spartan king Leonidas and his soldiers. The Immortals' numbers and their reputation for invincibility didn't win them the battle. However, Their fierce fight against the Greeks has been immortalized in history. The Immortals were also significant during the reign of King Darius and King Xerxes. They were essential forces in quelling rebellions and were the frontline warriors in the invasion of Greece. Their strategic implementation and courage during these military campaigns further enhanced their reputation. Beyond their combat skills, the Immortals were also famed for their appearance. They were decked out in vivid and luxurious uniforms, often wearing jewelry and gold, demonstrating the wealth and power of the Persian Empire. Their attire was both a psychological tool to impose their wealth and power on their enemies and a testament to their prestigious status within the Persian society. The legacy of the Immortals endures today. They are a symbol of the might and grandeur of the Persian Empire. Their prowess, discipline, and the fear they instilled in their enemies have made the Immortals some of the most respected and feared soldiers in history. Their reputation, the tales of their battles, and their unique immortal status have secured their place in the annals of military history. Number 3. Roman centurions. In the annals of military history, the Roman centurions have earned their reputation as some of the most disciplined and effective soldiers ever known. Serving as the backbone of the Roman army, these warriors were distinguished by their exceptional leadership skills, unwavering discipline, and formidable combat abilities. A centurion was the commander of a century, a military unit that comprised 80 to 100 soldiers, although this number could vary. The term centurion is derived from centum, a Latin word meaning 100. Centurions were professional officers of the Roman army who demonstrated skill on the battlefield and the ability to command troops effectively. Becoming a centurion was not easy. It required years of military service, an impressive record of bravery and skill in combat, and the ability to lead men. A centurion needed to be disciplined and resourceful, able to inspire his troops and maintain their discipline, often in highly challenging circumstances. The centurions played a pivotal role in the expansion of the Roman Empire, which at its peak spanned 3 continents. One cannot talk about the Roman military's victories without highlighting the centurions' contributions. They led from the front lines in battles, and their leadership often made the difference between victory and defeat. One of the most famous centurions was Lucius Vorenus, who served under Julius Caesar during his conquest of Gaul. Caesar's accounts describe Vorenus and another centurion, Titus Pullo, as paragons of bravery and military skill, reflecting the centurion's reputation for valor and dedication to duty. Centurions were easily distinguishable on the battlefield. They wore a distinctive transverse-crested helmet, which made them visible during battle and enabled their men to follow their lead. They also carried a vine staff, or vitis, symbolizing their rank and authority. Aside from their combat and leadership abilities, centurions were known for their rigorous discipline. They were responsible for maintaining order within their ranks, ensuring that soldiers kept to their rigorous training routines and meting out punishments to those who violated the strict Roman military code. While centurions were known for their toughness and strictness, they were also renowned for their concern for their soldiers. They shared in the hardships of their men, building a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect. This bond between centurions and their soldiers was key to the high morale and effectiveness of the Roman army. In the larger context of history, the centurions represented the Roman Empire's strength and reach. They were instrumental in shaping an empire that lasted for centuries and left an indelible mark on the world. The legacy of the Roman centurions as effective military leaders and skilled warriors endures today, symbolizing the military might that was instrumental in Rome's rise to become one of the world's most powerful empires. The Roman centurions were indeed among history's most deadly and feared soldiers. Number 4. Viking berserkers. When it comes to the most feared and deadly warriors in history, the Viking berserkers undoubtedly secure a prominent place. These legendary Norse warriors were known for their exceptional battle prowess, seemingly superhuman strength, and a unique battle trance state that made them fearless and ferocious in the face of the enemy. The term berserker comes from Old Norse berserker, often interpreted to mean bear shirt or bear coat. This has been attributed to the practice of these warriors wearing bear pelts into battle, symbolizing the animal's strength and fury. However, the etymology remains uncertain. with some also suggesting the term could mean bare shirt, implying going into battle without armor. Viking berserkers have been notably described in ancient sagas and skaldic poetry. They were believed to enter a frenzied state during battle, referred to as berserkergang, or going berserk. In this state, they were said to exhibit inhuman strength, immunity to fire and iron, and a terrifying wild fury that made them dangerous and unpredictable opponents. The exact nature of this berserker state has been subject to much debate among historians and scholars. Some attribute it to spiritual or religious practices, with the berserkers invoking the spirit of animals like bears or wolves to imbibe their strength and ferocity. Others suggest a possible connection to the ingestion of hallucinogenic substances or even psychological conditions. Despite these ambiguities, what remains undisputed is the reputation of the berserkers as formidable warriors. They often served as the shock troops in Viking raids, leading the charge with their fearsome battle cries and relentless assault. Their reputations were such that even their allies found them unnerving, never knowing what a berserker might do once the battle frenzy took hold. Berserkers were also renowned for their personal combat style. Rather than organized military formations, they excelled in individual feats of strength and courage. This made them invaluable in situations like champions' duels or single combat, often featured in Norse sagas. However, the very traits that made them feared and revered also led to their decline. As Scandinavian societies began to centralize and create more regularized military forces, the unpredictable and uncontrollable berserkers started to be seen as liabilities. Eventually, by the end of the Viking Age, the berserkers had all but disappeared. Yet the legacy of the Viking berserkers continues to inspire awe and fascination. They have become a symbol of the wild, fearless spirit of the Viking Age, their names echoing with tales of strength and fury. Despite their disappearance, the berserkers remain imprinted in our collective memory as some of the most deadly and feared soldiers in history. Their tales continue to evoke images of the primal, untamed ferocity that once shook the medieval world. Number 5. Knights of the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages were characterized by the rise of knights, an elite group of heavily armored soldiers whose reputation for valor, honor, and martial prowess remain legendary. Steeped in chivalry and driven by feudal obligations, these knights were a key factor in shaping the medieval world's military, social, and cultural landscapes. The path to knighthood was arduous. Young boys of noble birth, as early as 7 years old, were sent to the castles of other lords as pages. They were taught manners, religion, and social norms, along with the basics of combat. At around 14, they would graduate to squires, where they served directly under a knight, learning more advanced combat skills and taking part in battles. By the age of 21, if a squire had proved his mettle, he was ceremonially knighted, pledging to uphold the codes of chivalry. Knights are perhaps most famous for their armor and weaponry. They wore chainmail or plate armor, providing excellent protection on the battlefield. Knights wielded a variety of weapons, including swords, maces, and lances, mastering them through rigorous training. The knight's mainstay was the warhorse, a well-bred, strong animal trained for combat. A knight on his warhorse wielding a lance was a fearsome sight on the battlefield, capable of breaking enemy lines and taking on multiple foes. This combination of man and beast was a symbol of the knight's strength and nobility. Despite their decline, the image of the medieval knight remains iconic. They are often romanticized in literature and film, embodying the virtues of bravery, honor, and gallantry. The knights of the Middle Ages were indeed among the deadliest and most feared soldiers of their time. Their influence has transcended centuries, and their legacy as the epitome of chivalry and martial skill continues to shape our understanding of the medieval world. Number 6. Ottoman Janissaries. The Janissaries were the elite infantry units of the Ottoman Empire, known for their discipline, cohesion, and formidable martial skills. Their unique recruitment and rigorous training methods set them apart from contemporary military forces, and their influence on the battlefield and within the empire made them one of the most feared and respected soldiers in history. The Janissaries were first formed in the 14th century by Sultan Murad I as a corps of household troops, loyal only to the Sultan. They were recruited through the Devshirme system, which took Christian boys from their homes in the Balkans, converted them to Islam, and drafted them into Ottoman service. This method ensured their undivided loyalty to the Sultan and created a sense of unity and brotherhood among the troops. Janissary training was harsh, yet comprehensive. It transformed these boys into disciplined, effective soldiers. The training involved physical conditioning, arms practice, and education in tactics and the military arts. They were also trained in various crafts and trades, which supported their logistics and boosted the empire's economy. This well-rounded education distinguished them from their contemporaries. The Janissaries were organized into ortas, or regiments, each with a specific function in the battlefield. They were among the first troops to use firearms, and their proficiency with muskets and cannons gave them a significant advantage. Despite their infantry classification, they were also trained in mounted combat for situations requiring mobility. Despite their end, the Janissaries' legacy remains. They were among the first to use a standing army instead of tribal or feudal levies. Their distinctive uniform, martial music, and combat prowess have been depicted in various artworks and literature. The Janissaries were, without a doubt, one of the deadliest and most feared soldiers in history. Their influence shaped not only the Ottoman Empire, but also the course of military history. Number 7. Samurai warriors of feudal Japan. Among the pantheon of history's deadliest and most feared soldiers, the samurai warriors of feudal Japan hold a distinguished place. Renowned for their martial skills, discipline, and the unwavering loyalty to their lords, the samurai were the epitome of the warrior class in Japan, shaping the country's military, social, and cultural structures for centuries. The word samurai translates to those who serve, an apt description for these warriors who dedicated their lives to their feudal lords or daimyo. They emerged around the 10th century during the Heian period and reached their zenith during the Sengoku period, a time of intense civil warfare. Samurai training was intense and multifaceted, focusing on martial skills, strategy, and the moral and ethical aspects of warfare. From a young age, samurai were trained in archery, horse riding, and swordsmanship, with the katana becoming the symbol of the samurai's identity. This curved, razor-sharp sword was more than a weapon. It was a sacred artifact that represented the samurai's honor and warrior spirit. Samurai were also trained in the art of bushido, or the way of the warrior. This code emphasized virtues like loyalty, courage, honor, and personal integrity. Bushido dictated how a samurai conducted himself in battle and everyday life, putting as much emphasis on moral character as on martial prowess. Despite their fall, the legacy of the samurai is still keenly felt. They remain a potent symbol of honor, discipline, and martial skill, embodying values that are deeply ingrained in Japanese culture. The image of the samurai warrior continues to captivate the world, serving as a testament to their status as some of the most respected, deadly, and feared soldiers in history. Their indomitable spirit continues to echo through the ages, reminding us of a time when honor was worth more than life itself. Number 8. Mongolian horse archers under Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan, one of history's most legendary conquerors, led an army renowned for its deadly efficiency and innovative tactics. Central to this formidable force were the Mongolian horse archers, a cadre of soldiers whose exceptional skills in mounted warfare led to the creation of the largest contiguous land empire in history. Born into a nomadic culture centered around horsemanship, every Mongolian warrior was a proficient rider. They were practically raised in the saddle, learning to ride even before they could walk. This deep-rooted bond with horses offered Mongolian warriors a level of mobility and speed on the battlefield that was virtually unparalleled at the time. Mongolian warriors were equally skilled with the bow. They utilized the composite recurve bow, a weapon renowned for its power and accuracy. Constructed from layers of wood, horn, and sinew, these bows were compact enough to be used on horseback, yet potent enough to penetrate armor at significant distances. Warriors trained relentlessly, learning to accurately shoot from horseback at full gallop, an impressive feat even by today's standards. The combination of horsemanship and archery skills made the Mongolian horse archers incredibly versatile. They could engage in close combat, skirmish tactics, or staged retreats as the situation demanded. This versatility, paired with the strategic genius of Genghis Khan, enabled the Mongols to outmaneuver and outfight larger, seemingly more powerful foes. Despite their decline, the Mongolian horse archers left a profound mark on history. Their tactics influenced later military strategies, and their accomplishments contributed to the spread of culture and knowledge across Eurasia. They stand as a testament to the devastating effectiveness of mobility and ranged warfare, securing their place as some of the most feared and deadly soldiers in history. Their legacy lives on, echoing in the vast Mongolian steppes they once roamed. Number 9. Apache warriors. The Apache tribes of the southwestern United States produced some of history's most formidable warriors, revered for their guerrilla warfare skills, resilience, and tenacity. Living in arid environments, the Apaches developed a warrior culture that prized stealth, cunning, and intimate knowledge of their homelands. The Apache warrior's life began in childhood, with boys taught to be tough, self-reliant, and adept hunters. They were trained in stealth, tracking, and survival techniques. These skills, combined with an intimate knowledge of their terrain, made Apache warriors masters of hit-and-run tactics and ambushes. They were known to strike swiftly and then disappear into the wilderness, leaving their enemies disoriented and fearful. Apaches utilized a variety of weapons, including bows, lances, knives, and later firearms acquired through trade or conflict. But perhaps their most significant weapon was their knowledge of the land. They used the difficult terrain to their advantage, setting up ambushes in narrow canyons or using the cover of the desert and mountains to approach unseen. The Apache were also renowned horsemen. They often conducted raids on horseback, which allowed them to move quickly over vast distances. They were known for their impressive endurance, often riding hundreds of miles without stopping, further enhancing their reputation as elusive and relentless warriors. A notable figure among the Apache warriors was Geronimo. Known for his fearless resistance against Mexican and American expansion into Apache tribal lands, Geronimo epitomized the indomitable spirit of the Apache. Despite being vastly outnumbered, his small band of followers evaded capture for years, their resilience making them legendary. Today, the memory of the Apache warriors stands as a testament to their resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. They continue to inspire awe for their incredible survival skills, adaptability, and their fierce will to defend their people and their lands. Their story is a potent reminder that sometimes the deadliest and most feared soldiers are not those with the most numbers or the most advanced technology, but those who fight with unwavering determination for their people and their way of life. Number 10. The British Redcoats. The iconic British Redcoats, formerly known as the British Regulars, were among the most feared and effective soldiers during the 18th and 19th centuries. Known for their bright red uniforms, disciplined formations, and formidable firepower, these soldiers were a testament to the military might of the British Empire, playing crucial roles in conflicts around the globe. The Redcoats got their name from their distinctive red uniforms, which were designed to create a striking visual impression and boost troop morale. Beyond their aesthetics, the Redcoats were renowned for their rigorous training, discipline, and use of tactics, which set them apart from other contemporary military forces. Redcoat training emphasized discipline and unit cohesion. Soldiers were trained to move, fire, and reload in unison, maximizing their firepower and maintaining their formations under the chaos of battle. This disciplined approach to warfare often overwhelmed enemies who relied on less organized tactics. The Redcoats' primary weapon was the flintlock musket, a long firearm that, while relatively inaccurate by today's standards, was deadly when used in volleys by well-drilled troops. The Redcoats' proficiency with this weapon, combined with their disciplined formations, allowed them to dominate many battlefields. They were involved in numerous military campaigns as the British Empire expanded its global reach. The Redcoats were a significant force during the War of Spanish Succession, the 7 Years' War, and the American Revolutionary War. In these and other conflicts, they demonstrated their prowess against a variety of opponents in different terrains. Perhaps the most famous representation of the Redcoats is from the American Revolutionary War. Despite being depicted as oppressors in American folklore, there is no denying the skill and discipline that made the Redcoats a formidable force. Their disciplined volleys and bayonet charges broke many enemy lines, instilling fear and respect among their foes. Indeed, the British Redcoats deserve their place among history's most feared and deadly soldiers. Their impact went beyond the battlefield, shaping the course of nations and leaving a lasting imprint on global history. From the jungles of Asia to the plains of North America, the echo of their disciplined volleys still resonates, a testament to a time when the world was painted red by the soldiers of the British Empire.